Part 1. The design thinking process and ideation. Everything begins with the design thinking process. This process has 5 phases: empathize, define, ideate, prototype, and test. In the ideate phase, we generate solutions to instructional problems. To do this, we use divergent thinking, where we generate many wild ideas without judgment. We use techniques like brainstorming, mind mapping, and brainwriting. Once we have ideas, we switch to convergent thinking, using logic to narrow down the best solution. Part 2. The learners and the experts. To design well, we must understand who we are teaching. We look at the 3 domains of learner needs. First is the cognitive domain, focusing on intellectual skills and critical thinking. Second is the affective domain, focusing on emotions, motivation, and attitude. Third is the social domain, focusing on connection and community. We also distinguish between pedagogy and andragogy. Pedagogy is the teaching of children, where the teacher leads. Andragogy, developed by Malcolm Knowles, is the teaching of adults. Adults need relevance, autonomy, and respect for their prior experience. We often work with an SME, or subject matter expert. The SME provides the content, but we must watch out for scope creep. Scope creep happens when an SME adds too much unnecessary content, expanding the project beyond its goals. Part 3. Learning theories. We rely on 4 main scientific theories. 1. Behaviorism. This theory states that learning is observable behavior change shaped by reinforcement. 2. Cognitivism. This theory treats the brain as an information processor that uses memory and organization. 3. Constructivism. This theory states that learners actively build their own knowledge through experience. 4. Connectivism. In the digital age, this theory states that learning happens by connecting to networks of information. Part 4. Instructional design models. To structure learning, we use specific models. The most famous is Bloom's taxonomy, which orders thinking skills into 6 levels. Level 1 is remember. Level 2 is understand. Level 3 is apply. Level 4 is analyze. Level 5 is evaluate. Level 6 is create. We also use Gagne's 9 events of instruction to guide the lesson flow. Event 1 is gain attention. Event 2 is inform learners of objectives. Event 3 is stimulate recall of prior learning. Event 4 is present the content. Event 5 is provide learning guidance. Event 6 is elicit performance. Event 7 is provide feedback. Event 8 is assess performance. Event 9 is enhance retention and transfer. We also use Fink's taxonomy of significant learning. Unlike Bloom, Fink's model focuses on non-hierarchical goals, like caring and the human dimension. We also use Merrill's first principles. Merrill states that learning happens when solving real-world problems. Finally, we measure the rigor of the content using Webb's depth of knowledge, or DOK. DOK Level 1 is recall and reproduction. DOK Level 2 is skills and concepts. DOK Level 3 is strategic thinking. DOK Level 4 is extended thinking. Part 5. Instructional strategies. How do we actually teach the content? We use instructional strategies. Scenario-based learning places learners in realistic situations to make choices safely. Problem-based learning presents complex, open-ended problems for learners to solve. Case-based learning uses specific stories or case studies for analysis. Lead, or learning through exploration and discovery, lets learners explore a virtual environment. Micro-learning breaks content into short, focused bursts of 2 to 5 minutes. Personalization adapts the path to the individual learner's needs. Gamification uses game elements like points and badges to increase engagement. Part 6. Storyboarding and content structure. Before building, we create a prototype. A storyboard is a blueprint that maps out the content and flow. We can use visual storyboards for media-heavy projects, or text storyboards for simpler ones. To organize content, We use chunking. Chunking breaks information into small blocks to manage the learner's working memory. We also use sequencing to order these chunks logically. To help learners succeed, we use scaffolding. Scaffolding provides support that is gradually removed as the learner gains competence. Part 7. Content strategy and legal ethics. Finally, we must source our content responsibly. We can use OER, or open educational resources. These are materials in the public domain or licensed for free use. We often look for Creative Commons licenses, which tell us how we can share and adapt work. We must always respect intellectual property and copyright laws. Even if content is available, we may need permission unless it falls under fair use. We evaluate all content for credibility, accuracy, and relevance. And we ensure accessibility using UDL, or Universal Design for Learning. UDL ensures we provide multiple means of engagement, multiple means of representation, and multiple means of action and expression.